guys, welcome back to my show. Once again, I have a really amazing guest with us today. She's an amazing singer-songwriter and has many songs under her belt. Her name is Faith Zapata and she is quite amazing and really cool. So today I'll be chatting with her and hopefully you guys learn something new. Hi Faith, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be on the show.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, so please introduce yourself and maybe sing a few lines of your latest song or any song you like from your discovery.
Okay. Well, I'm Faith, as you know. I'm 22. I'm a singer-songwriter, like she said, and I also am in grad school. I'm studying English literature, and I don't know if that shows through my lyricism at all, but my friends joke around saying that oh, we can tell you're an English major and stuff like that. But I'm from the Bay Area in California, and I've lived here my entire life. And yeah, I've been playing and writing songs. I think I've been writing ever since I could start doing that. But I started writing songs around 12, which is when I picked up a guitar. And yeah, I just been doing that ever since, and it's been a passion of mine since then. Yeah, so that's a little about me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so maybe you could sing a few lines of your...
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't know when I was okay. Sorry, I'm a little awkward. But okay, I'll just do the chorus of Apollo, which is my most played song. So maybe some people know it if they're listening to this and they know me already, but if not, it's a good introduction, I think, to my discography. So okay, this is just the chorus. So I'm coming with you wherever you go. I don't care where we end up, Apollo. I'll sing you a love song, read me a poem, take me to Greece or take me to Rome. And when you're writing, let me be your muse. I'm no Aphrodite, but I'll have to do. So I'm coming with you wherever you go. I don't care where we end up, so let's take it slow, Apollo. And that's the chorus.
Wow, that's really pretty. Again, everyone out there, if you like indie folk music or just want to explore new music, want to explore new singers, this is the song for you. I think it's really beautiful, really trendy in the moment, and I think it's just a good intro to Faith's music, as she said earlier. So I'll be linking Faith's website in the show notes, so you can check her out there. My next question for you is, how do you promote your music?
I mainly like to promote it, through social media. I don't have Twitter, so I don't use that. I've found that Twitter is just it's not my favorite app, let's just say. But Instagram and TikTok, TikTok is the biggest one, I think. It's really what got me my audience. The TikTok algorithm has just been on my side, recent years. But I like to just, take videos of myself playing my music live, just with me and my guitar, nothing super produced or anything, just authentic, straight, straight from my camera, this is me. And I like just doing that. And I also post covers and stuff, try to get people interested in my sound. Because I'll sing for example a Taylor Swift song, but it'll be in my style or something, or more me sounding. And so people who like Taylor will hear that and be oh, this is interesting. So I kind of try to draw people in that way as well, just by doing covers. And then once I get that audience, I'll start doing more originals, and they can get into my music that way.
Yeah.
And I do a similar thing on Instagram as well, but mainly TikTok.
Yeah, I think TikTok has kind of just taken over the world by a swing, and I think it's kind of a big part of media. I think TikTok, Instagram, like the big ones. For me personally, I just use Instagram. No, I mean I don't have much of music right now going on. I put out a few songs on SoundCloud, but nothing on Instagram so far. I just did a few covers here and there, and did like a few reels and things like that. But kind of more developing that thing over the years and trying to like put more stuff on there. So yeah, I think like as I said, like TikTok kind of just like dominating the music industry as well. We have like AI covers now. It's kind of hard to differentiate, between real singers and AI because like fact is that AI just has become so realistic. They have like these things where it's like "Cruel Summer" and sung by Adele. Of course, Adele has never covered that song, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But it makes it so realistic that
it sounds really realistic, but I've found that there are a few like discrepancies in between like vocals, like say that there's like a note maybe Adele never hits that Taylor Swift hits. It'll be a little glitchy, and like you can tell.
Absolutely.
So
it's
not exactly, but like it sounds pretty realistic up to like a certain point. But I do think that in like the years coming, like they'll work on that glitch and it'll like be really smooth, and kind of freaky,
Yeah, absolutely. Which is coming to my next point, which is that how do you feel like the music industry will change over time, knowing that AI could potentially take the place of real singers who actually have that experience and have that like actual music sense and creativity. Like if we are gonna let a robot take over, they're already doing so many things like making games, making dance movements, doing choreography, driving cars I've heard, and doing things like that. What's left for us as singers and musical artists if they also start doing covers and singing their own songs and writing their own songs?
Yeah, I can definitely see the fear there because like, automation is like kind of taking over a lot of things. Like, for example, I know that there are a lot of just like normal jobs that people used to do that like not like necessarily robots, but can be done by like machines now, I went to go pick up pizza one time and there was just like a box there, like not a box, but like kind of this machine that kind of looked like a vending machine, but it was like telling me like, oh, this is how you pick up your pizza. Like there's no person there to do it. It was just like a screen. And I was like, well, I guess they're having machines do this now. But in terms of like music and stuff, I think, and even in the other arts, like literature, dance, even like visual art, while AI art is really like interesting and like mesmerizing at points, I think that you can never really replace that authenticity that like when an actual person is doing that. Like I can definitely like tell the difference between an AI like music piece from somebody who like is recorded something on their voice memos. And I'm not much of a visual artist, but I can definitely tell the difference between like an AI generated art piece versus somebody who like made something with their hands. And as like technology can only get so good. There is like an end to technology, but I don't think there's an end to creativity. I think that's what technology lacks. They don't have that like that sense of creativity that humans are born with.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think like you can kind of tell, like I feel like AI kind of makes that art or makes that song just so perfect. And I think that perfectness that like AI tries to achieve is just like what makes it over the top, because everyone knows no human is ever perfect. And if like it shows that perfect thing, like you feel like, oh my god, this is so perfect. Almost always there's something wrong, because having something perfect is not really a set thing that any human can do. Even if they're a child prodigy, even if they're like the biggest star, it's just not possible. There's always something you can work on, always something that you can change. Whereas for AI, they kind of are like fed with the information prior, and they can just build off of that and do calculations and do things like that allow them to be perfect. So with AI art, AI music, you can have like that perfectness. Even if like for AI covers, that's a different thing, but like AI songs that are just produced by AI, they're like sounding so professional and maybe even better than a professional. Like to the point where they could even just start their own, like, AI artist profile on Spotify or something and get many listeners listening to it without even realizing that this is not a real person.
Yeah, I think that it's evident too, though, like I think it's very obvious when there's no soul behind the like who created that piece,
Yeah.
So I think that like I would like to think that people could tell the difference, even if AI becomes like perfect, like you said. I'd like to think that like real people, at least people who appreciate art, I'd like to think that people would be able to tell the difference in the future, and even now.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with what you said. I think it just depends on person to person, I think, because there are people who, as I said, love the creative side, love the art side, and they want to support them, and they can easily tell, like you just said, that if something is real or not. But like with people who are kind of like exploring their interests, being like, do I like this, do I not like this, for them it's just like a matter of how they process these things, whether they catch that glitch, whether they catch that thing which is wrong with the AI cover and realize that this is not real, or realize that this is not a real song, it's just made up by AI and not a person. I think it's just important to like kind of get yourself educated enough to know that which one is real and which one is not, because in the future there's potential chance of like singers not be getting the recognition, because then people be like, everything is AI. This is AI, this is AI, this is AI. And I think that's just gonna like ruin everything for singers and artists, because like creativity is something that, like as you said, cannot be taken away from us. But if AI starts like doing the same things we can do but even better, it's just gonna like take away jobs. I know, like,
yeah,
probably
but
jobs
I feel like better, like that word is subjective,
Yeah.
I feel like you can't really define what is actually better or even perfect. I was going to say this earlier, but I was like, I don't know if it's relevant. But I feel like perfection is a subjective word. You can't really define what is perfect.
Yeah,
you can say like, oh, without blemish, without mistakes. But sometimes like people think that the mistakes sound good, like like little, like I don't know, like when someone's playing guitar and you can hear like little squeakiness of the strings, like sometimes that adds to perfection for somebody, whereas for someone else maybe they don't want that little like squeaky sound because it sounds cleaner. Like I feel like the words like better and perfection, perfect, I feel like that those are it's up to the person who's listening or who's consuming this media to decide what it is.
Yeah, I think like after listening to what you said, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I said that word, but I think what you're saying really makes sense. I think everyone has like their own definition and their own choices that define what perfection is. The same goes for success. I mean, like many people have different definitions of success and what perfectness or what perfection even is that brings them to the successful path in their career. So my last question for you is, tell us something that no one knows about you.
That's a toughie, because I feel like all my friends and family, like while there might be something that maybe I don't know, say my brother doesn't know about me, but my friend does know, and vice versa, like that kind of thing. Let me think. I mean, I can probably come up with something that how about like the general public doesn't really
actually that's like kind of what I meant to ask.
Okay, I was like, nobody. I was like, that's impossible. But something that like, okay, like a little known fact, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like, like no one knows because like it's never been talked in interviews, never been talked in your career, never been talked in shows, something like that.
Okay. What is something that I haven't talked about? Because I feel like I talk about a lot of things, so it's hard to think about what I haven't talked about. But I'm trying to think of like maybe my childhood, because I feel like there's a lot of material there. sorry, this is taking longer than I thought. Like I'm really combing through the
Okay, how about I
library
help you
and
out? Maybe
everything.
you could tell us your maybe your hobbies, something like or like your favorite artist, something like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I like I like writing. Obviously, we know that. I'm a grad student. I study English literature. Um, I like reading. Oh, I don't know if I've really ever said this, but I like making candles. I like
Oh yeah.
yeah. It's kind of silly, but making candles is fun. I like doing
No,
that.
I mean, if that's something you love, I mean, I think it's awesome. Like, just exploring interests, exploring what you like, and candle making sounds really cool. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
so
I just
much.
thought it was fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being on the show with me today. I had a great time chatting with you.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Everyone out there, as I said earlier, I'll be posting her website in the show notes. Feel free to check it out, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you so much, everyone.